good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. My name is Farida Suleiman, and I remain the moderator for this interesting session that started since Monday. It has been so interesting, very, very impactful, and we always get value for our time. So each day makes us tasty and more hungrier for the next day. You're all welcome. Welcome to the final teaching day. You can just introduce yourself in the chat box. Tell us your name, tell us where you're joining us from, and tell us something interesting about your day today. We'd love to hear from you. You can also add if you are a young person. Just introduce yourself in the chat box. Just feel free to tell us your name. Thank you so much for joining. We value your time. Yesterday, we learned about goal setting, and the teacher, Anu Oluwalapo, yes, she taught us a whole lot about goal setting, turning your dreams to reality. So it is important for young persons, older persons, adolescents, every age, gender, every person to just know how to focus on things that is important in order to improve their personal life, academic life. She taught us a whole lot how to focus on our academics, future career, and all. So I hope we all learned from yesterday. I'm trying to do a recap of yesterday. So we learned that two things can make us not to focus on our goal setting. More than two things actually, but then I picked two things. That is procrastination and not prioritizing our goals. It is very, very important to prioritize our goal, not to experience any lapses or any itches while we are going about our career and future. So the teacher yesterday gave a lot of example of herself, how she went from this skill to that skill, how she kept on acquiring knowledge, how she was not satisfied. She knew what she wanted for herself. It was so interesting. We could not stop listening to her. We spent over an hour in the teaching. She taught us how to handle setback while working towards our goal. And there are some key principles she mentioned, like self-discipline. While we are setting our goal, we need to define our future. We need to discipline ourselves. We need to set goals like bridges between our goal and achievement. We need to focus on our goals. We shouldn't be distracted. So the teaching yesterday was very, very interesting. I think she talked about long-term goals and then short-term goals. So it is important for us to prioritize. We should know what we should do part-time in order to get a successful career. Thank you so much once again for joining. I remain Farida Suleiman, your anchor. And also thank you so much to Brighten and Build Teens Foundation, Mrs. Olubumi, for organizing this wonderful program that is set to impact lives of young persons and older adults. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I can see Honora said he can't hear anything. I guess it's from his network. Please, if you can hear me, can you leave a reaction so I know I'm not talking to myself? Please, if you can hear me, can you leave a reaction? Oh, thank you so much. Honora, your network is back. All right. I think it's from your end. So we're going to move on now. Today we're having two modules. We're going to be talking on value and integrity. And we have no other person than our convener, Mrs. Olubumi Otite, to take us on this. But before she comes up, I would like to give a brief background of her profile. for those joining for the first time so they get to know her. So Olubumi Fred Otite is a professional educator, trainer, teen coach, and founder. Brighten and Build the Teen Foundation, an organization dedicated to grooming young leaders, empowering and providing mentorship, especially to adolescents in undeserved communities. Under her leadership, the foundation has successfully impacted over 3,000 school students, equipping them with essential life skills and fostering both personal growth and academic excellence. Her commitment to youth development has been expressed in various capacities, especially as a mentor with organizations like Teach for Nigeria, Leap Africa, and Yali RLC. She's the initiator, the Curiosity Corner, a forum where young persons share experience, ask questions, and receive unbiased guidance. A CTIP ambassador, that is countering trafficking in person, passionate in the fight against human trafficking in Nigeria, and with a passion for change and an unyielding commitment. She has championed several initiatives aimed at raising awareness, educating vulnerable communities, and collaborating with key stakeholders to counter the devastating impact of human trafficking. She's also passionate about leadership and change. She continues to inspire and equip young people, particularly in undeserved communities, for a brighter future. So let's make welcome with emojis and reaction to welcome Olubumi Fred Otite. You have the floor, ma. Welcome.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much, Farida, for that beautiful introduction. I'm super, super excited to be here today at the grand finale of this very remarkable event. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I've been here since Monday, and it's been super, super amazing with all the modules and our facilitators, just dishing out insights and knowledge and experiences. And I'm sure that right about now, for those that have been with us since Monday, you have been transformed in one way or the other. I am definitely sure that you are not the same person that started this program. I have picked so many things from here, from time management to goal setting. I mean, yesterday was a complete blast, and it's just been so amazing. And I congratulate everyone for being in this room, and I celebrate you all. Thank you all so much for joining. I would like to reiterate a few things because I know that some people were not here when we started. So this EXECUTEENS 1.0 is a program organized by Brighten and Build the Teens Foundation for young persons, and we hope to. The program is in two phases. It's the leadership program, which is ongoing currently, and there is the skill acquisition. So today is the finale for the leadership program. And next week, by God's grace, we are going to kickstart the skill acquisition, which is graphics design and video editing. So as many as are interested should please kindly send, because this leadership program is a prerequisite to that program. So I know that I mentioned it about 2 days ago. So if you are not here for the leadership program, I'm sorry, but you will not be admitted for the second phase of the program. At least you must have joined us for between day 1 and 4, you should have joined for 2 days. And for the modules that you were not present, you should have gone to check out the replay and catch up. So that being said, I do hope that we already have attendance anyway, so we have the sessions recorded every day. So we are going to draw out the contacts of those that have been joining us, and then we will send them messages for orientation into the second phase of the program. So I do hope that that is clear enough. So thank you all so much once again for joining in. Now to the business of the day. Today we are going to be, I want it to actually be a discussion. So we're going to be looking at values and integrity. That's the first module. And the second is drafting a personal code of conduct. These two are very important in leadership. Trust me, I've not seen a leader who has not led by values. You must have personal values that are guiding your life as a leader, and accompanied by personal code of conduct. And that's what we are going to be examining today. So I'm just going to get onto my slides in a few. Let me see. Okay. Just give me a minute, please. Okay, I do hope that you can see my slides right now. If you can see it, kindly give me a big heart in the comment section if you can see my slides. All right, thank you so much, right? Okay, so values. I want to believe that everyone here, whether you have it penned down or not, whether you have it outlined somewhere, you are living by values. There are some particular values that are guiding you, that are guiding your life, that are guiding your conduct and everything that you do. Whether you have them spelled out or not, you have values. And let's look at some. Have you got one? Yes, we all got one, whether or not you like it. You have got something going on as values: awareness, honesty, love, kindness, justice, peace, integrity, honesty, freedom, respect, integrity, humor, all of that, truth, peace, humility. These are fairness, these are values. And whether or not you have outlined it, like I said earlier, there is something definitely guiding your life. There's something you are living by. That is just it. You cannot escape it. You must have adopted it either by association with friends, and especially family, the families where we have been groomed and bred. There are values in that family, and you would have been immersed in them, absorbed in them as you grew, and you have taken up some and probably left off some. So there is no way that an individual is not living by a particular set of values. You might not have outlined them. Right, so what is the essence of this class? What are the objectives? We want to understand what values are and the role they play in shaping your life. So we want to learn how to identify your values and craft clarifying statements for them. We want to understand the importance of the core value of integrity and how it helps you to stay true to your other values. So we said this module is value and integrity. So integrity is a value. And how does integrity help you stay true to your other values? We're going to look at that shortly. Then we want to learn critical steps for living a value-centered life. Critical steps for living a value-centered life. Now, what are values? What are values? Anybody, any idea? What do you understand by value? You can just leave it for me in the chat. Let's get your own idea of values. But this is mine. Values are beliefs and desires that shape attitudes, beliefs, desires that shape attitudes. They are the elements of your life that you find truly important. They are your beliefs. They are the elements of your life that you find truly, truly important. Yes, I can see standards, right? Standards, that's it. Yeah, we can liken them to standards. We can liken them to beliefs, elements of your life that you find truly important, that guide the way that you behave, that guide your attitudes and disposition generally. Values influence the choices you make, the way you view the world, and how you treat others in your community. They are the basis upon which decisions are made. That values guide every aspect of our lives, from choosing your friends to the relationships that you have, to even where you work, values. That's why organizations too do have value. And when you are applying into an organization to work, you go check them out, right? And you check their values. What are their values? What are the things that they hold in high esteem? What are their beliefs and standards, like someone said, right? And you want to see if it aligns with yours. Because if it doesn't, then there's no way two can work together except they be agreed, right? Two cannot work together. So it means that if your values don't align, there's no way you're going to work. I can't imagine someone, an individual, going into a relationship now, right? I mean marital relationship, and then your values do not align with that of your partner. Now, if you as an individual do not even know your values, you don't have them defined, how then do you compare with that of your partner? And this in itself is a self-discovery class, because if you don't understand yourself, then how do you intend to deal with the other person? How do you know what it is that you want to accommodate and the things that you know you cannot accommodate? And how do you align your decisions and choices? Because values influence the choices that you make. Like I shared earlier, even the way you want to work will be guided by your values. How you treat others, right? For example, if you are someone who has taken humility as a value, it means it will reflect in the way that you treat everybody. So if you hold it dearly that humility is a value for me, patience is a value for me, then it will reflect in the way that you treat others. So I just have 15 minutes on this module, so I'm just going to run. I still have a long way to go. So these are examples of value, and I do hope that we all have our pens, right, ready to jot something down. So examples of value, we have a lot of them. Patience, persistence, encouragement, peace, inspiration, patriotism, love for animals, cleanliness. Can you imagine? Cleanliness, sacrifice, purpose, service, courage, integrity, forgiveness, all these, compassion, all these are values. So as an individual, you may not have all of this. You don't even have to have all of these as values, but there should be top five for you. I, as an individual, I have respect is key for me, right? Is one of my values. Respect is very, very key for me. And I hardly can deal with people who do not exude such. That is one of mine. Another for me is character. Character. So, I mean, we're all growing, and as time goes on, no one is perfect, but at least let's even see efforts, right? Let's see your efforts. Humility is another major one for me. Humility, Very, very key. And it's in people that I relate with. I must also see that you have some, you must display a little, at least. At least let's even take pride and arrogance out of the way, right? Let's know that, okay, it's not present in you. Okay, so these are just examples I'm sharing. And you should have top 5 for you that, okay, these values guide my life. Honesty is another one. Oh, goodness, especially in my line of work as a social entrepreneur. Sometimes you have relations with people and they are saying, okay, come, let's do this, let's embark on this project together, but we are not actually really going to, implement it fully. Let's just do something on the surface and then, divert the funds and things like that. I cannot engage in such. And so I already know from the onset that this, what is it called, partnership will not work, right? So that's why they said if you don't have, it means that, so what exactly will be guiding your decisions if you do not have these values? What? There's no way it will not reflect in the choices that you make and in the decisions that you take, right? So top 5 for you must be outlined. What are your top 5 values? In case you are still maybe in the middle of figuring things out, it's fine, it's perfectly fine. But then this is a wake-up call for everyone to outline what their major values are, at least top 5 for you. From this class, you should be able to define them. Now I'll run to the next. Where do values come from? Our values are shaped from a range of factors: family, religious affiliations, education, experiences, society, beliefs, right? Especially family. Because the family that we were bred from, the family that we were groomed, there must be, I know a woman back then, and she was sharing with us that she never tolerates dishonesty in the home. And the children know the moment you lie, you are in deep trouble, right? So they know. And that they have also adopted as a value. Okay. And I'm sure maybe she too also got it from her parents. And that way, from one generation to the other, it's been transferred. So values can come, it will naturally come from your family. They may not say it out, right? They may not spell it out, but it's there. They are there. So friends too, some of the friends that we have, your values can be shaped from them, from our faith, whether you're a Christian or you're a Muslim and the rest of that. There are some of doctrines that we live by, and they somehow influence our values. Okay, so I'm just going to run to the next slide. Why should we have values? Why? A value-centered life helps in building and achieving goals and objectives. They help in decision making, like we already explained, and they help us okay, so they help in decision making. If opportunities do not pass the value test, dump them. Like I was sharing earlier, if an opportunity comes to you and it involves you, it doesn't align with your values, then you know that it's not going to work. You dump it. Okay, so these are one of the reasons why we should have values. Then to be successful and effective leaders, we have to live by certain values for us to be very effective. Because how do you say you are a leader and then those following you cannot see something? There must be something they can associate with you. I know our boss, our leader does not tolerate this, right? So for us to be successful and effective leaders, we should have values. Then values helps to foster and strengthen better relationships. So in the people that you are dealing with, you know that, okay, at least some of your major values have to align. whether it's friendship, and the various kind of relationships that we have. Even in our families sometimes, I've seen siblings who do not agree because at some point in their lives they feel that we are not aligning, right? They're not going to hate on each other, but they just can't do some things together on some certain levels, right? Then they drive our thoughts, our words, and our actions. Values do drive our thoughts, our words, and majorly our actions. Now, a quick discussion. Would you be comfortable flying in an aircraft designed by an engineer who cheated his way through university? Would you buy food items from a shopkeeper who regularly erases expiry dates on products? Or would you want to be treated by a doctor who cheated his or her way through school? Kindly give comments for me. I like to know that we are following. Would you be comfortable flying in an aircraft designed by an engineer who cheated his way through university? Or, who just by shady means just got it? No way, it's not going to work. You would never be comfortable. Will you buy food items from a store that they have their ways of manipulating the expiry dates just because it's not in their value to be honest, right? Or would you want to be treated by a doctor who cheated his or her way through school? These are the reasons we make values, because all of the examples here shows that this set of human people, individuals, have no values, right? So if you are saying no to all this, then it means that you as an individual also have something, you have something to do. It means that you as an individual cannot be comfortable with all this, then what are you yourself doing to not be counted in the number? So it means that if you cannot accommodate this, then you as an individual should not be encouraging it, you should not be doing it, you should not be found in the path of all of this, right? So I'm going to move integrity and as an important value. Integrity is the quality of being honest and having strong moral principles. It means when you say yes, it is yes. When you say no, it is no. No one is second guessing your action, your words. They're not saying, oh, he has said this, but he will do otherwise, right? So it is the quality of being honest and having very strong moral principles. It is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It helps you to live true to your other values, regardless of the circumstance. When you adopt integrity as a value, it will help you to stay true to the other values that you have chosen, regardless of the circumstance. Without integrity, no one will be able to trust you. No one. You say, oh, he don't do as he says, just don't do as he does. You can only follow what he says. That is not being a good leader. That is not even right as an individual, right? So lack of integrity is very harmful to society, and that's the reason it's one of the fundamental problems that we have in this country. When our leaders come up with all of the manifestos and they are saying they will do this and do that, and by the time they are sent power, and you are like checking what they said with what is happening. It's not even aligning, you know. So it's one of the problems that we have. And not just leaders in that regards, even the starting from our classrooms, your course reps, your SUG presidents, leaders in organizations, and that's why as an individual, you must live by integrity. When you have integrity, it will help you to uphold the other values in your life. Right, so I'm going to move on to the next. I'm already out of time. Becoming a values-based leader. Why is it important for you to pick your own values? Until it is personalized, it is difficult to take ownership. Like I said earlier, you have been exhibiting these values in one way or the other, but you have to personalize it. You have to take ownership, right? And in becoming a values-based leader, there are 3 stages you must go through. First is to identify your values. Next is to craft your value system, and then you live a values-centered life. So I want us to do this in a short while. Just take a pen and paper. You already have example of values. You know yourself as an individual. What are your 5 major values? What are those 5 major values that you want to live by? Let's do that shortly. You don't have to post it, but just write it down. What are those 5 major values that you want to live your life by? It has to be turned down. It has to be personalized so that you can take ownership of them. Now, how do you identify your values? Think of a role model and what qualities you admire the most. Think of yourself in the future and what qualities would have gotten you there. So who is your role model, right? Who is that figure who is that person that inspires you? You want to be like, okay? What qualities do you admire in them? And then think of yourself in the nearest future. What do you want to be? And what qualities do you think will take you to that position? Think of yourself now. What weaknesses would you like to improve on? So if you have a little bit of challenge with maybe patience, then why don't you include patience in your value? And that way you take ownership and you begin to see yourself working in that area, improving on that area. Then how would you like to be described by others when you're out of the room? Very, very, very important. What would you like to say behind you, right? So that's it. So living a value-centered life. Living a value-centered. How do you live a value-centered life? Pick one value for the week, right? Like I said, you have 5 major ones now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, for example, and identify ways to exhibit that value and act them out. Evaluate your progress at the end of the day and discuss your progress with a trusted friend or mentor. Now get an accountability partner. And who is that person? Someone who shares your values, principles, and beliefs. Okay, I don't see you having an accountability partner or a mentor or a best friend whose values do not even align with yours, right? So that when you are sharing, they can relate. And they know that, okay, you're trying to work on patience, and then they can help you. Then look for someone who is interested in your personal development and someone that you respect, right? So why is values-based leadership very important? A leader sets high moral standards, and value helps you to stay true to your standards and principles. It enables you to embrace the importance of hard work and integrity. And it is important for us to identify our personal values, as this will help us to take ownership. Then going through the stages of identifying our values, crafting value statements, and living them out in 2 circles raises us into value-based leaders. Remember that character is the new currency. So thank you all so much for listening. And we are just going to take a 5-minute break before we get into the next module. So over to you, Farida. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much, Ma, for this session on value. I believe the participants online have learned. Thank you for exploring deeply into this topic. So please, if you have any question, you can just drop it in the chat box so she can respond to it. We've learned a lot. Value our belief and desires that shapes attitude. So what is your value? What are those value? Remember, you can have a negative and positive value. So what are those value that is influencing your life? So if you have any questions, you can just drop it in the chat box while she responds to it. You can miss a job opportunities because of simple values that you don't possess. You might not have respect like she mentioned, and it can ruin that chance. There are cases of people who lost opportunity, life opportunities that won't come their way because of simple greeting. So please, this is a very important topic. Let's do well to have like our top 5 values like she recommended. So very shortly, we're going to be going into another module, which is crafting personal code of conduct. So I want you to be thinking in your heart, what is code of conduct? How can I craft? How can I create a personal code of conduct? You know, every organization, every structure have a law that guides them. So, but this morning we are going to be looking at crafting personal code of conduct for yourself. And this section is going to be very, very interesting. And our convener, Mrs. Olubumi Fred, will be taking this session again. So get your cards prepared, get your notes. I just hope you are jotting all this because it is very important. You're going to need it. If not now, you're going to need it later. So let's welcome her to continue the session. Welcome on board, ma.
Hey, thank you so much, Farida, once again. Thank you for that quick recap, and I do hope that we are taking notes. So this is to reiterate the fact that we are live on Facebook. So you can catch a quick replay of these sessions. In fact, all of our sessions from Monday through till today on Facebook. We have been sent a mail to that effect, so you can check out, and please follow us as well on all our social media. So that being said, I'm just going to dive right into the topic of personal code of conduct. Sorry, give me a moment to share my screen. Right. Okay, so if you can see my screen, please leave me a heart. If you can see my screen, kindly leave me a heart in the comment section. If you can see my screen, kindly leave me a heart in the chat box. Let me know you can see. Are we together? Kindly confirm if you can see my screen by leaving a heart. Thank you so much. I got that. Okay, so crafting your personal code of conduct. So values that we just looked at and this topic are very much related, right? So if you have values, it's more or less like you have already crafted your personal code of conduct, something that you live by. So a code of conduct is a set of principles to guide your behavior. It helps you take a personal stand on ethics. And this presentation will guide you in creating and living your code of conduct. So a code of conduct is a set of principles that guides your behavior, guides your actions, even decisions, right? So that's is a code of conduct. So if you already have a code of conduct, let me know, just say hi. You have a code of conduct, you have a set of principles that you live by principles. Leave me a heart in the comment. Let me see your heart in the chat box if you already have a set of principles that guide your life. Okay. So what is a code of conduct? A code of conduct is a list of rules governing the behavior of people. It gives you the opportunity to take a personal stand on ethics. So like I said, it is very much related to values. It is a set of rules that govern the behavior of people. So let's see it as rules and principles guiding your life, right? And that's why some people can never near politics, because they know that according to my rule 101, I don't think I can do some things, right? Because they know that it will dent them. It will smear their name and image that they uphold so high, right? So there should be rules, there should be principles that govern our behaviors. Imagine that our leaders have personal code of conduct. Do you not think that this will change the way they conduct their life and govern, right? So I feel that it will impact a lot on us individually, as a family, as organizations, and as a nation in general. If an organization has a code of conduct, it will guide everything. It will reflect even on all the employees that would be required to work in that organization, right? So these are some of the importance of having code of conduct. Why should one have a personal code? It will serve as a central guide, a reference for day-to-day decisions. Then it clarifies values. It links your mission, your values, and principles to standards of conduct, right? Then it serves as a personal compass. It provides guidance in tough situations. There are some situations that, okay, so there was a man of God who was sharing one day, and he was saying that he was invited by some persons, by an organization actually, to market a particular product, and then, kept on and on. And by the time they stated the remuneration in dollars and things like that, and it was like, wow, this is beautiful. But then what exactly is the thing you want to market? It was not clearly stated. And so it was like, oh, so if I do this now, so he already knew that it was a no-no, because for him, it's not about the money. He already has a personal code that is guiding his life, and he knows that even if I'm dying, I can never do this thing. And that is how it should be for us. So when you have a personal code, it kind of provides guidance when you're in tough situations, when when those situations will require that you compromise. You know that, no, this is a rule for me. I don't do this. I never do this, right? So that's why we should have a personal code. And as we live by them, people will already know us by that. They know that, no, don't even bring this thing near this thing. I'm not gonna. Tips for crafting a code. Of course, like we said earlier, values and be fundamental to crafting a personal code. Think in terms of your core values, your beliefs, and your expectations. What would you also expect people? How do you also expect people to behave towards you? Right? Not just how you behave towards them. What do you expect of people? Okay, so that will help us crafting a code. Then be concise and to the point in your statement. Use a very, very simple language. Keep it easy, simple and easy to understand. Then use I. The I puts the responsibility on you. So don't just say, no Bible. Okay, so like some people have a code of conduct that states that every morning they have to read the scriptures before breakfast, right? That is a code of conduct, it's a rule guiding their life. So if you want to craft that kind of code, you can say, I must do this, this, this. So it personalizes it, it puts the responsibility on you. I'm just using that as an example, right? So let's just run through this. Okay, so example A, for example, personal code of conduct, truth. I choose to tell the truth at all times. And this applies to all in all situations. This is one very key for me. I choose to tell the truth at all times. This applies in all situations. So it means that even if you be bearded, you choose to tell the truth, right? You must tell the truth. And that's because you already adopted honesty as a value. Okay? So you cannot adopt a value and then your code of conduct is not aligning with it. It's not possible. Both have to work hand in hand. Then commitment could be a personal code of conduct. I keep all my promises and commitments. I always honor my word. I will get to my appointment 10 minutes before the time. That could be a personal code of conduct. Then respect, like we said earlier. So examples: at home, I treat family with respect and courtesy. At school, I act in a manner true to my values. Then 3, with funds, I act transparently with funds or property. Now craft your own code of conduct. I'm going to give us about 5 minutes to craft a code of conduct. And just write one line for me in the comment section. I'm going to give us 5 minutes to do that. Write your own code of conduct with the examples that you are.
Hello, Ma. I think there's a question here for you in the chat box. Question from Oluwaja Taylor Empire.
Okay, clearly define who the code of conduct applies to. Okay, so the examples that we saw earlier, we saw at home, in school, in the organization. So it could be general for you. So at home, what principle or what rule should be guiding you? Your organization, what principle, what rule do you want to? Just one line of or one example is fine. You understand?
Please, if you have further questions, you can just keep it coming in the chat box.
Okay, so like the example that I shared earlier, we saw something like at home, I treat family with respect and courtesy. At school, I act in a manner to my values. Then with funds, I act transparently with funds or property. So those are examples. So just write what yours is in that regard, you understand? All right, then I do hope that we got that. If we still have further questions, we can ask. So one for you may be that you treat everybody with respect regardless of their status. That could be a personal code of conduct. More like it doesn't matter if the person is a manager or a gatesman, right? You treat them with respect regardless. So as long as the person is older or you understand what I'm trying to say. You don't treat them with disdain because you feel that this person is a gate man, so it should not be regarded, right? So it could be a personal code of conduct that for you that regardless of a person's or an individual's status, I will treat them with respect. It could be your personal code of conduct, right? So that is an example. So crafting personal code of conduct is crucial to our living, and it guides our lives. It helps us, in tough times. Okay, so then living your code of conduct. How then do you live your code of conduct? That's the last thing I'm going to be sharing with us. Accountability partner. So find someone who shares your values. Find someone who shares your values. Then you have to share your code with friends and family. You have to share your code with friends and family so they know what to expect of you, right? Then trustworthy. Living your code makes you trustworthy. This is a proven formula for success. So whether you are an individual or you are a leader somewhere, holding key leadership positions and what have you, you need to have a code of conduct. And living it, more importantly, and like we already shared, you need to have an accountability partner. It could be a friend, it could be a mentor, someone that shares your value and someone that you respect. Someone who will be able to make recommendations and who you'll be able to regard their recommendations when they make one. Okay, who you'd be able to take criticisms from, right? So these are some of the things, and I do hope that we have learned something today about code of conduct, values, and all of that. Someone is saying they cannot hear me. Can you still hear me? If you can hear me, please leave a heart. If you can hear me, please leave me a heart in the chat box. Let me know that, let me confirm we're together. If you can hear me, please leave a heart. Oh, great, thank you. All right, so that's that about crafting a personal code of conduct. It's very simple, but very crucial as well. So I do hope that we have already crafted our values and our personal code of conduct. So I'm just going to leave room for questions now. If you have questions, kindly drop them in the chat box. Over to you. Farida, are you still with us? Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, so I'll just assume that we understand those modules and we are ready to accelerate action, right? So thank you all so much for joining. This brings us to the end of this leadership course. It's been awesome from day one. It's been amazing. It's been insightful. I've gained a lot. I've learned a lot. And I do hope it's the same for every one of us. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And do expect communications from the team as regards the next phase of this training program. By next week, we are going to commence. It will be taken by a different facilitator, and I think it will not be held on Zoom. It will probably be held on WhatsApp or Telegram, right? So I hope that we are ready for that 3 week. It's a 3-week course, so it's going to take place in 3 weeks. And at the end of the 3 weeks, or intermittently, we will be convening, we will be assembling just to get feedback from the program as it takes place, as it progresses. So you can always reach us on WhatsApp via the number in the chat. If you have inquiries or any complaints, you can always reach us via the number, and we'll be glad to address any of those and attend to you accordingly. So thank you so much. Please do follow us on our social media, and that will be all for now. Farida, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ma, for the session. It was impactful. And I picked a lot, like getting our 5 top values and having a mentor that can guide, accountability partner, and so on. I hope the participants have learned, and thank you to BBTT Foundation for organizing this program. and for the privilege of being the moderator throughout the session, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I hope more program will come from BBTT Foundation. Thank you for what you're doing for young persons. And on behalf of all young persons from my own community, we are saying thank you to BBTT Foundation. We've learned a lot. Thank you so much, ma.
Thank you
So
so
this
much, Farida. It's been amazing working with you, and you have been awesome throughout since Monday. I mean, it's a lot of work, but you are here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you for doing
amen.
this. Thank you for adding value. You're a blessing to this generation. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you so much. That will be all from my end. Do have a lovely day and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. Bye.
Thank you all so much. Bye. Don't forget that we can always catch the recording on Facebook, even on YouTube. Would We have been sent messages in that regards, and we can go check them out. Thank you so much.